Well, hey there, Landisville Church. It's Pastor Jeremy with our weekly recap. December 14th, we weren't able to meet at the church in the morning because of the snow event here in Lancaster County, and we wanted everyone to be safe, so we stayed home. But I was still able to make it to church that day so that I could record a sermon for you so we could continue our Ugly Christmas Sweaters series. Last week, we looked at Mary and how she had this unexpected sweater assignment from God to become the mother of the Son of God. Today we looked at Joseph, whose life seemed to be unraveling. Joseph had an unraveling sweater because he was faced with the news that Mary was pregnant, and he thought he needed to take matters into his own hands and break off their marriage plan. This would have been a very serious move, caused a lot of difficulty and pain, and God didn't want Joseph to take matters into his own hands. He doesn't want us to take matters into our own hands when our lives seem like they're unraveling. Instead, we need to slow down and listen for God's voice. That's exactly what Joseph ended up doing. God spoke to him through a dream and said, "Don't be afraid to take Mary as your wife. This baby is the Son of God, and he will save the world from their sins." So Joseph responded and did exactly what the angel in the dream told him. He followed God's voice. Now, Joseph was a devout man, and he would have been a man of prayer, a man of giving. He would have been a man of fasting. And God gives us spiritual practices like this so that we can lean into our relationship with him and be able to hear God's voice, especially when our lives are unraveling. This week, I want to challenge you to lean into spiritual practices like that. Be a person of prayer. Be a person of fasting. Be a person of giving. Be a person of worship, meditating on God's word. Whatever spiritual practice you find most valuable that speaks to you, that God uses in your life, that's the thing I want you to lean into this week. And then when we get to January, we're going to do a whole series on spiritual practices, spiritual disciplines, how God is working in us to form us spiritually into the image of his Son. But for right now, we celebrate the Advent series and we can still lean into those practices together. I want to remind you that December 24th, Christmas Eve, is just 10 days away, and we have invite cards at the church, at our welcome center, and at the table into the sanctuary so that you can invite friends and neighbors to come celebrate Christmas together and to possibly enter into this journey of faith that we share together at the church, because that's God's hope for us, that we would come to know him in a deep, personal, intimate way, and that we would share it together in community. We have the opportunity to do that here at Christmas and invite our friends and neighbors to celebrate with us. So I hope you will. I hope I'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully there won't be any snow. And then on Christmas Eve, December 24th at 7 p.m. Have a great week, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.